which is why when we were having dinner yesterday, I was asking everyone, what's your edge that you could give it away? And for me, I'll say it now to you, 4 standard deviations. That's it.
If you were to break that down for those who may not understand, is there a way, without a chart?
Oh yeah, I mean, if you look at institutional swing points, I mean, ICT lays it out in core content month 5. I think it's episode 4. But when you get a lower low, an intermediate term high, and then a higher low, or vice versa, in any way, a higher low, intermediate term high, and a lower low, you key a projection fib on that, and you project it upwards, and you can find that the market will move pretty accurately to within 4 standard deviations. So if you can find that swing point and you can key it on the right market structure, then you'll find that it tends to move within that range.
Incredible.
Pretty much to a tick.
Well, talking about like pretty much to a tick, and obviously your trading style, you being one of the unique few who trades live, and has showcased you trading live, calling the price points. And have you done it? I think you've done a live stream, right?
Yeah, I do. Well, I started with these spaces, and they were very much kind of driven in the idea of being very community focused, and tried to kind of offer a platform where it would be positive, respectful, and encouraging for people to kind of talk about their journey. So I think we'll always do that, and that's one part or piece that we do within Twitter Spaces. It'll morph into, I hope, more of a podcast platform. We're looking to edit. I've got 500 plus hours of content, but it's all very raw. It's not edited. It's not cleaned up. There's a lot of ums, ahs, So there's that, and I'm working on kind of cleaning that up. But then a second part or piece that's kind of helped within the growth within the community has been kind of trying to emulate what ICT does when ICT is not doing what ICT does, and calling price real time on a 30-second chart, on a 1-minute chart, on a 5-minute fractal, on a 10-minute fractal, on an hourly fractal, trying to kind of mirror and mimic what he has done through his mentorship, but in the lens of a student, and preferably as almost like a TA, right? Like a teacher's assistant. Like I try and very much mirror and assimilate and emulate what he does within his mentorship. I try and, again, pick up what he's putting down, and I try and utilize his concepts, and I try to explain different ones. So I've been fortunate. You could pick one of his models, and I mean MMXM, OHLC, OTE, a myriad, the unicorn. He's got a myriad of different models that he utilizes. A 90-minute cycle. I'll take any one of those as a theme within the live stream, and then I will live trade that specific model on top of price action as it's printing real time. So, and I'll do it my way with how I'll mark up a chart and how I see things. So it's not ICT. It's my own version of it. It is ICT Concepts, but it's going to be my logic and my interpretation of me being me, obviously the trader, and how I'm going to make those decisions on a chart. So I've had a lot of success, and I think there are a lot of other traders within the community that are also stepping up and doing a similar thing, and it's great to see. So live trading within the markets, I believe strongly and firmly. And in recently speaking with ICT, in having an interview with him, I kind of asked a lot of questions as far as the education space, and saying that I really, I've volunteered pretty much 70, 60 plus hours a week for the last 5 months to trying to educate and help, either by doing this kind of podcast in this community-based kind of thing, or within calling the markets real time as price is printing. So I've kind of created these two different things that I do, and and I asked him very clearly just for advice and at length different things. What do I do about this? What do I do about this? How do I go about this? And he just was very frank and honest and compassionately expressed to me where and how I could carve my own way, within an education space. And I think he said pretty specifically not to focus so much on static slides and previous price action, but to continue forging my own journey into reading price and price action real time and teaching students how to interpret price as it's reading and printing real time through order blocks, through market structure, through projected ranges, through higher time frame analysis. And that's what I do. That's what I enjoy doing.
It's incredible. And, I think the combination of the two things you do there in terms of like the podcast style, the raw and community aspect, as well as then the technical side and the actual live trading side is probably a huge, they complement each other in such a massive way that when, that's probably why you've seen such immense growth. Obviously the value that you put into both as well, but that's probably why you see such immense growth, because it's something quite unique. And as you mentioned, you can tell by the way that you have both of those things, it fits the mindset of being being against the wolves, and protecting the lambs, so it's incredible to see. And one thing you mentioned there, which I want to touch on, is how you mentioned all the different concepts, and obviously ICT has a lot of different concepts.
Yeah, he does.
Now some people see it not as a negative, but it can be confusing by having so many. But as you've pointed to, he has a lot of concepts and you can understand them, but then you have your way, right, of how you interpret it, but then also how you use it, and maybe your specific ones that you resonate with. Can you just maybe touch on that a little bit? As as you can imagine, loads of people coming into ICT.
Yeah, for sure. There's I believe ICT's content is meant for it's a universal trading style, meaning that no matter your religion, no matter your race, no matter your nationality, no matter what language you're speaking, you can study this content and find something that relates to you. With it being so broad, with there being so much depth to learning algorithmic philosophy, algorithmic theory, algorithmic principles, it's a lot like learning a language, I believe wholeheartedly. A language, music, mathematics, all are things that build onto each other. You can't simply, there's no cheat code to either three of those lines. And becoming a musician, becoming a mathematician, you're not going to just delve into advanced calculus if you don't understand trigonometry. You can't do it. So similarly, in a language, you can't just start quoting Shakespeare if you haven't learned Cat in the Hat.